Hello and welcome to part 3, segment 2 of our mini-series entitled There's an App for This, and tonight we're dealing with the reality of depression. Now, I've got some good news about depression. Depression is highly treatable. Even in its most severe cases, it is highly treatable. The condition often goes in a sickler type of direction. It can start off as having a bad day, which then can lead to having a bad week, that then can lead to I'm having such a bad season in my life that it's really messing with my head, and in my emotions, I don't really know how to cope with this. And so before I know it, I have gone into a depressive state, meaning I'm somewhat detached from my reality. The reality of my everyday life has become so painful that as a means of escape, I go into a depression where I don't feel the same things as I normally do. I don't care about the same things. I don't want to be around anybody else. All I care about right now is getting under covers and completely covering up and just staying there for as long as I can do so without anybody bothering me. But I'm just saying, it goes from one stage to another. But for instance, if we have the coping tools to deal with the first bad day, then chances are, or the likelihood of us then having a series of bad days are reduced, let alone having a bad season. If we have the coping tools of dealing with the experiences of the first bad day, many times we can prevent ourselves from going into a depressive state, which is then a way of escaping my everyday life. People who are battered and people who are bullied, many times we see them going into depression. People who have chronic illnesses, sometimes that leads into a depression. People who are in bad relationships, sometimes that leads to depression. Even something as simple as, for instance, I'm a California boy, grew up in Los Angeles, California. I've lived in the Midwest. That wasn't so bad, but I've also lived in the Pacific Northwest. For instance, Portland, Oregon, where it rained, seemed like 300 of the 365 days of the year. And it was cloudy all the time. And so that actually led me to several bouts of depression in the 2 years that I lived in Portland. So there are many things that contribute to depression. Well, let's talk real quick about what are some of the signs of depression. Well, there's a whole list. The list includes things such as feelings of helplessness and hopelessness. We have a bleak outlook on life. Nothing will ever get better, and there's nothing that we can do to improve our situations. So depression, a sign of depression is a feeling of helplessness and hopelessness. Another sign of depression is a loss of interest in daily activities. And people will also say, wow, you used to be so outgoing and you were bright and you were vibrant. I mean, you just had all kind of swag. People wanted to be around you, but now you have turned into a total opposite person, like a black cloud, a thundercloud is circling your head. You seen those cartoons, little black cloud be, anyway. Bottom line is we go from our bright, vibrant selves to a state where we're doom and gloom, and people recognize that. Also, a sign of depression can be seen in appetite or weight loss, sleep changes, can't sleep. But for most people who are depressed, or a lot of people depressed, it's sleeping too much. I mean, all you want to do is just stay in the bed. I've been there where I've slept for days on end. Get up and eat, do what I'm going to do, and then go back to bed. So sleeping disorder. Another sign of depression is anger or irritability. Another sign is loss of energy. Wow, I just don't feel like doing nothing. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. Just don't have energy to do anything. Even the stuff that you normally love to do. Now I just don't have any energy to do it anymore. Also, another sign is anger and irritability. We said that already. Loss of energy. Oh, self-loathing, which are strong feelings of worthlessness or guilt. I just don't feel like nothing. I'm not anything. I don't care about myself. Nobody else cares about me. During that state, we harshly criticize ourselves for our own perceived faults and failure. Sometimes it's not what people think about us, but what we think about ourselves during this depression state. Reckless behavior is a sign of depression, during which we engage in escapist behavior such as substance abuse. Getting high, getting drunk, that's a way of escaping our reality. We all understand they're only going to last for a little bit because you can only stay high for so long. But that's when substance abuse then comes in, because rather than just getting high this one day, just to give me a pickup, I find myself trying to do it every day, and then it's all day, and then I become not only depressed, but now I'm addicted to a substance because of this depressed state. And then the last two on my list is we sometimes develop concentration problems, and also a lot of people experience unexplained headaches and pain. These are some of the signs of the symptoms, and we're going to talk about what can I do as soon as we come back with segment 3.